Nobody at all asked for this, but actually everybody kinda did, except the haters, but they're always going to hate no matter which game mode is getting announced. And in this case, Hardcore Fresh is coming. It's confirmed. It's been leaked. Now, Sodapoppin essentially teased this by delaying OnlyFans to November.
Okay, what I said at everyone, hey guys, I know we planned on doing OnlyFans in October. However, good news and bad news. There is a very legitimate reason that we should start in November. I cannot get into details, but please trust me that this is 100% the best call for everyone. So that's what we're going to do.
Everybody had their theories, but most people correctly guessed a Hardcore Fresh. And then Sony, in Gym Bro adrenaline getting a nice pump in, leaked it afterwards.
So, like, that's a service you guys made it part of it.
Yeah, there's gonna be a new hardcore server that comes out, and it's gonna be fresh, so it's like a fresh start.
But again, it wasn't really much of a leak. We knew this was coming. Now, it's either late October or very early November, based on OnlyFans being November 1st. Now, as I said, we knew we were getting more game modes. We've known this for a while. In an interview that I did with the devs, we learned about Classic Plus coming in the future. We knew that Classic Fresh is coming because they have plans for the future of Era and Fresh players. Then we also know we're getting TBC and Wrath of the Lich King Era servers sometime in the future. They have plans, and a lot of them. Now, time frames and timelines, that's anybody's guess. This shit could be 2029 for all we know for half of these projects, but they are coming. Warcraft Direct is late October, early November, and the devs have already teased. Blizzard as a whole has teased that we're getting way more announcements and new information in this 20th anniversary for World of Warcraft, the 30th anniversary for the Warcraft franchise, and the 5th anniversary for Classic. But if you want to know more about Warcraft Direct, watch this video right here, and you can actually watch it right after this video. But we're going to move on to the juice and meat of this video, Hardcore. And why is it so popular? Why do people love this game mode and play the same version of Classic over and over again? There's a dozen reasons why people love Hardcore, and I'm going to break them all down for you guys. It's not exactly a list of 12, even though people love lists for some reasons. But nonetheless, let's begin. So first off, we have permadeath, that allure of getting to 60 without dying. Now this point is probably the most key point, the challenge, the adventure, the thrill of surviving, of doing something that people think is pointless, hard, and frustrating, but you're doing it. And it gives you that sense of satisfaction that you just struggle to find in other versions of WoW or in other MMOs, period. The need to be cautious, the need to be prepared, to know exactly what you're doing, where you're going, and why you're doing it. To look at a mob and be like, fuck no, I'm not touching that, that's gonna kill me, or that's too risky. To just realize and understand all the key points of what makes Hardcore just enticing to the player base. And tying right into that sense of satisfaction, that sense of thrill from the permadeath, is that sense of nostalgia. When you're playing Warcraft regularly, you're speed running through the questing, you're speed running through the leveling. You're trying to get to max level as fast as possible because that's where the peak PvP is, that's where the peak PvE is. Very few people actually enjoy the world for what it is. Sure, you might stop at a random vista and be like, man, the Barrens is really gorgeous, and then go back to killing 100 quill boars, dying 10 times throughout your leveling process and just not giving a shit because your goal is 60. But in Hardcore, you slow down. You actually have to be slow. You can't speed because if you do, you will die. And death is non-recoverable. You can't just restart. I mean, you can from level 1, but that's the point of it. You actually end up reading the quests. You end up actually doing so many more quests than you would typically. Most people dungeon grind. Most people skip some low-level quests because there's no point doing them. Most people just go from zone to zone to zone as quickly as possible to get to max level as fast as possible. But you're gonna end up reading all these quests. You're gonna learn about the world. You're gonna be questing and killing mobs in random locations you didn't even know had quests or mobs to grind in. There are gonna be certain stretches where you just have to kill thousands upon thousands of mobs. Very boring, yes, but it lets you become one with the world. And again, that is the whole theme of Hardcore, is understanding and perfecting your rotation, your class, and the world in that perfect balance, a thriving combination of skill and beauty, but nostalgia. And this is one of the most clickbait things to ever be clickbaited on YouTube. It's there for a reason. People clickbait nostalgia for a reason because it's true, it works. People actually miss the old feelings they had. Most people will never be able to play a game like they did that first time you launched World of Warcraft back in 2004, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That list can go on, everyone started at a different time. But you'll never get that feeling back. But hardcore is pretty close. That level of excitement, that holy shit, I gotta be careful. What the fuck is that quest? I didn't know this item could do this. Man, thank God I have this one ability that I never use typically because it saves my ass. That nostalgia is allowed to return in a way that you just haven't been able to experience in so long. And when you talk about nostalgia, you gotta talk about community. You gotta talk about those social bonds. Because in most games, yes, I know, World of Warcraft, MMO, most people don't really talk to their guildmates, they don't really hang out, their raid log, their PvP spam. Sure, you have a community. But to a degree, and this kind of sucks to say, but community is mildly dead. And yeah, that's mildly controversial. I said mildly 3 times there. And honestly, mildly, why not? But the point is, community just doesn't have the impact that it used to. But on hardcore, you kind of don't really have a choice. If you want to raid, if you want to dungeon grind, you're putting your life in another person's hand. If you're a tank, you're looking at that healer, you're cupping his cheeks or her cheeks and you're going, please, by God's mercy, make sure I live. Let the DPS die, I don't give a shit about them, but keep me alive. It's just me and you here. You have to put your life in the hands of somebody else. As a healer, you have to trust that the DPS doesn't fucking pull 2 extra packs and wipes the group. As a tank, you have to be prepared. And no other version of the game has that much trust in another person's hand. Sure, if you're raiding or PvPing to rank up or grind or get your gladiator or to get mythic raiding, you gotta trust your teammates. But even if you die, it's not a big deal. Just respawn and try again. Sure, your mythic plus might have got timed out, but nobody really cares at the end of the day. But in hardcore, catastrophic failure is over for you. It's one and done. So that community aspect is so much stronger. The people you level with, the people you do dungeons with, you form a bond with them. So many people make friends that are lifetime thanks to hardcore because, again, our Jim Bob over there, he was with me from the first RFK all the way to Stratholm, even ZG and MC. He's a real one. But let's be honest, the real reason hardcore is so popular, and yes, controversial, but I've been controversial lately and I don't give a shit, it's streamers and content creators. Yes, I as a content creator are telling you that. But seeing all those hardcore death clips, seeing all these people make content, struggle bust and just fail and die, seeing just Mizkif just immediately scream and Petri just to get out of a dungeon, like so many little things like that make the content juicy, makes it like interesting to enjoy and play. People love to watch other people. If they didn't, streaming on YouTube would not be anywhere near as popular. So having these massive streamer events, these massive community events, just having all of this energy and juiciness just makes the game and the world so much more enjoyable. I love tuning into Sodapoppin or Cdank or Sardako, any streamer, I don't know who your favorites are, and watching them play hardcore. Seeing the energy, the vibe they bring to their group, their dynamic, whether it's in raid or in the open world or in questing, people enjoy watching these dynamics because it's fun. It's a thrill that you get to experience without actually having to put the effort in yourself. Now, I'm going to copy an EA word here. Sense of accomplishment. And I already covered this earlier on, but getting to 60, clearing MC, clearing Nax, hitting those high metric, those high milestones, it's actually kind of like it's dopamine. You're just excited. You just feel like these 180 hours I put in was worth it. And again, I've been repeating myself several times throughout this video. Worth it, mileage, whatever. I'll say what I say. The point is, it's exciting. Across the board, hardcore makes that heart beat. It makes you want to watch, want to play. Sure, most people will quit because it is the way of life. And now that we're getting hardcore fresh, it lets everybody come back on a level fucking playing field. If you've played on regular hardcore servers, there is 20 Nax running guild. Well, it's mainly the same 5 or 6, but you get the point I'm making. People are jacked, consumables are like on the market. Everything you need is there. Even if solo self-found, you still have access to all those max level people to help you, to re-level you if you die, to give you aid and advantages where you typically wouldn't get that. And I know, SSF removes a lot of those advantages, but by being on a completely fresh playing field, a completely fresh level, it drives a level of excitement that's brand new essentially. Probably even more than the very first time we did hardcore. It's going to be even bigger than that. And honestly, I'm excited. Hardcore Fresh is probably going to be one of the biggest events of the year. Probably 1 million viewers. That might be an exaggeration, but if all the big streamers come, heck, imagine Asman comes for hardcore. Will he make it? Debatable. But the viewership numbers are going to be be insane. And people are going to love it. It's going to be watchable. It's going to be playable. It's going to be exciting. Couple that into a fresh launch of Classic right afterwards, Classic is going to skyrocket. And like I said at the beginning, Warcraft Direct is in late October, early November. They announced Hardcore Fresh into a Classic Fresh into a Classic Plus, as well as some brand new SOD content. The people are eating good today, or this year, or the next couple years. So let me know in the comments below. Why is Hardcore so exciting for you? And are you excited? Are you gonna play Hardcore Fresh? I know haters are gonna hate, but what do you think? I wanna know, so let me know. Thank you for watching the video. If you liked it, please like and subscribe. If you hated it, be a dedicated fucking hater. Hate everything, not just one video. Thank you all, Ebonhard out. Peace.